expressed also with mind-numbingly boring, although as well, according to the vocabulary bank course book given by our lecturer as well. Largely here means in great extent, on the whole, mostly according to Google. Pretty is also described as something fairly in the moderate high level. So the most true one that I chose, and to say the most jobs are mind-numbingly boring. It means to something if you not use mind-numbingly here means extremely boring. It clear something like that, and it is going to be absurd if it sounds unnatural as well if we use largely that we refer in the context that one factor will involve to create something or to impose something, the worst outcome is largely by that. But in this context, we cannot say most jobs are largely boring or even petty. We rather use mind-numbingly. So let's move to the second sentence. Gardening is physically or technically or terribly demanding. Technically here means in a way that involves complicated physical movements. Um, so how about terribly? Terribly here means very much, not worse. So gardening you can either say technically or terribly, not terribly demanding. But I say not terribly demanding here. You refer in the context or situation that you give the recommendation or advice to someone that you can say that person is so lazy, and you can say you can just go to do gardening because it's not terribly demanding. It's not demanding very much. It's not gonna make you feel tired or exhausted anyway. But technically here means more than just physically because it involves a very complicated physical movement, like when you grafting the plant and you see the truck when you cut some parts of the tree, and this is about how to graft um, to make or to reach for desired outcome from that plant. Or you just remove the soil, you fertilize it with fertilizer, something like that in the garden. So the most true here, I mean, gardening is technically demanding. Number three, nursing is mentally rewarding. Rewarding here means very satisfying. That job is very satisfying. So in the very high degree of your preference or your interest about a job, or you can say that nursing is now very much popular amongst any careers like that. You can either use financially rewarding. It means it's gonna tell you that nursing, if you want to be a nurse, it will pay you a lot, your high salary like that. Number four, teaching kids is usually draining. Draining here is mean your vitality or your energy is decreasingly. Sorry, it is decreasing um, little by little until it left over. So teaching kids to notice there are many activities involved. You can imagine when you were teaching your brother or your sister, the very little one. It's so complicated and so much to get him or her to understand something that you wish to teach or to get him understood. So usually it means it's equivalent to the meaning of completely, but we cannot use completely, or we can say we rather use usually, refer to some kind of emotional thing like draining here. So the most true here to say about this sentence, teaching kids is usually draining. Number five, you have to be very busy or quite competitive to get ahead in the business. Get ahead here means to be successful in the business. So to be successful in the business, basically here also means really down with it. You really sit down to do that job. You never think of giving up. So the most true here that I choose is you have to be fiercely competitive to get ahead in business. Number six, IT is not remotely or mildly or inherently interesting. About inherently here, even it's not my choice, but I would like to give you the meaning behind inherently. Inherently refers to something that not impermanent. If you are interested in something, so if you are interested in something and you say IT is inherently interesting, so it may be not permanent with your interesting. And the most most true here I chose is remotely because something is not remotely interesting. I mean, IT is not remotely interesting also means IT is not interesting at all. So let's move to the number seven. Okay, this is like test degree meanings of remotely as well. Number seven, the public sector is highly efficient. Efficient here is very different from effective.
Affection.
Effective refers to something, a kind of goods or um, yeah, the quality of goods or some kind of that. We're talking about quality, but efficient here means the capacity of person of that system produce the outcomes. So we can say for this sentence number seven, the public sector is highly efficient for the society, for its people. Number eight, the last, I'm blissfully or relatively or not entirely happy with what I'm doing now. I choose blissfully because blissfully happy with what I'm doing now. Blissfully here refers to the situation or circumstance you are being very happy. So being very happy is not you are happy in a way that it is usually you through comes through. It's like a high degree of happiness that you enjoy. It is very in the high level of enthusiasm as well. So blissfully is not really happening every day, and it's not usually happen. It's in a very rare occasion or very special occasion. So you can say I'm blissfully happy with what I'm doing now. You really enjoy with it. So let's move to the last part of mine. We're talking about the meaning after we match the beginning of the sentence to its ending. So the first, my vitality drained away. Vitality drained away here means energy. But vitality here mean energy,
มันติด
and
ขัด
drain
นะ
away decreasing or diminishing. So
สดับไรเกี่ยวกับ
my ability drain away also means energy is decreasing or in diminishing until it's left over. Number two, acquire new skills. Acquire new skill here something that you may have seen uh, on the jobs announcement that require a communication skill or soft skill, computer skill. So you say to yourself that that kind of job really require a new skill that I have never been before, that I have never learned about, nor even known about. Sponsor me also means backing or support. In normally means support or backing. For spark my interest, something that spark your interest, really initiate your interest about something that's happening, bring you discussion, bring your ideas, bring you to have an idea about that situation or in the circumstances. Five, get the most out of this investment. It literally means you try to be profitable about that investment. You try to, gain more profits as possibly as you can. Number six, his mind was drifting off. His mind was drifting off also means losing interest. You start to lose your interest. You're interesting about something that you used to like, you used to be interested in. Little by little, like the whether we then away as well. But it's talking about your interest. Number seven, set the wheels in motion. It is about put a plan into action or to implement what you have set in your plan. In your plan. Eight, pass this one on to someone else. It's referred to the situation that you sit far away from your friend, the very different line, so you want to pass something to give something to your friend that your friend borrows, so you need someone that near you and near your friend as well, like a middle. So ask them to pass the pen on to my friend. So number nine, which begs the question. Here refers to the situation that someone really tell you about something that, for example, the sun is hot. The sun is hot, and you ask them for explanation, and they say, "Said so." So it's really no reason, explanation for you, no explanation for you, but they just turn to support their own conclusion. So in this situation, we say which begs the question. It's not about to raise your question up when after finish the presentation like that. And the last but not least, make me redundant. is in the situation that the country have undergone the recession, have goes through the recession or the leveraging, and in that situation, more jobs are cutting, and for the employees are forced to quit because there are no more job or tasks to be assigned to be hired, and also for the job seekers as well. So that is very bad, or the worst scenario in the economy of one country. So that is the end of my second part. So that moves to my friend, the last part of vocabulary category. Thank you. Lakana, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, okay. Welcome.
Okay, first of all, we'd like to say a very good evening, teacher, and everyone. With me, Panya, can you mute yourself because I hear the noise?
Okay, okay, wait. Because I need to get out.
Okay, so I'm Lakana and I'm responsible for the last part of this chapter. So in this part, we are going to select each of the words in the box to complete each of the sentence below. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So yeah, the first one, number one. If I want to quit, I basically just have to give my boss a week's notice. So quit here means that you leave or you stop working or you stop doing anything that you've been doing. And a week's notice here means that it is a written letter that you have to write it and inform to your boss that that you are going to stop working in a week, that you are going to quit from a work in a week, so that your boss or your employer can prepare or recruit the new staff. Okay, next one. Number two, we all get subsidized travel, which is a nice perk of the job. So the subsidized travel here, if you in the condition of working, when you have a travel, so that travel is paid by someone else or by your company or by your boss or by your employer, that we call it a subsidized travel. And a nice perk of job means that when you have finished your job or you have done successfully of your job, so you get a reward, you get a gift. So which one that we call a nice perk of job, a gift of job. Yeah, next one. Number three, when my father died, I was granted a week's compassionate leave, which I'm internally grateful for. So, compassionate leave here means that a period of time that your company allow you to not going to work because of maybe one of your family member has passed away, or maybe your close friend has passed away, so they give you a period of time to not going to work and join the ceremony, join the funeral. And the grateful here means that you feel appreciated, you feel thankful that your company give you the time to celebrate the funeral or something like that. So next slide, please. Number four, we have a scratch at work where I can leave my daughter, which makes childcare much easier. So the scratch and childcare here are the same meaning. It is a place where the babies and young children are looked after because maybe their parents are busy at work or they cannot make afford to look after them. Yeah, next please. Number five, my dad was planning to take early retirement, but he basically can't afford to live on the state pension. So, early retirement here. So, the word retirement here is really common, which means that when you reach the age that you're not allowed to work anymore. And normally it may be 65 to 60. So, early retirement means that you maybe stop working around 60 or 59, something that it's really early to stop working. And the pension here, the pension here mean that the money that you still get, or we can call it the salary that we still get after we stop working. Even we stop working, but we still get the salary, but that salary is still stay, not going to increase or not going to decrease. Even like example, now after you stop working, you get the pension like $100. So the next 5 year or the next 4 year, you still get $100. It's not going to increase, it's not going to decrease. Okay, next please. Okay, number 6. We are losing so much money because of voluntary redundancy that we've decided to launch a bit of cuts and start demanding 6 notes. So voluntary redundancy here means that it is a situation where the employers or the company have no task, have no work for the employees anymore. So the worker, the employees willing to stop working by themselves. And the word cut here is very common, mean that to reduce. Okay, next please. Number 7, he was sacked last year, but he took his employers to a tribunal and was awarded compensation on the grounds of unfair dismissal. So the word tribunal here is like court. So when both people having argument together, and then they bring their problem to the court to tell or to inform to the judge to judge who is the right, who is the wrong. And dismissal here, this word here, mean that a situation where a worker or an employer or an employee is fired or is sacked by their boss or by their company. Okay, next slide, please. Number 8, the government promised to raise the legal minimum wage, but they're facing a lot of opposition from business leaders. So the word raise the legal minimum wage here means that to increase the salary, to increase the wage to the employees. But the disagreement is simply we can say disagreement from the business leader. Okay, next please. Number 9, we were facing swinging crackdown across the department, and at the end I just decided to take absenteeism instead. So the word crackdown here means that it is a situation which the authority deal with the illegal action or the illegal behavior. And absenteeism is mean that it's the same meaning like absent, like not having the present. Next please. Number 10, the last one, I'm a union member, so any pay rises or whatever are always negotiated through collective bargaining. The word union member here, it is like joining together to form a group of people who has the same interest, who have the same purpose. And the word collective bargaining here, it is the system of the process which the worker or the employees they can voice their idea about the payment or about the working conditions, something. Yeah, so that's all my point. Thank you so much for paying attention, and that's all from us talking about work for this unit. We would like to thank you for your paying attention and hope you enjoy our presentation and gain the benefit as we too expected to deliver. If you have noticed our shortcoming produced by our presentation, please kindly provide us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing in the area of this topic, and I hope that some of your friends will gain some benefit from the reading. At the same time, some particular vocabulary from this unit. You can notice how some particular vocabulary that you can learn from the unit, okay, from your friend presentation. Some students, they ignore their presentation, they leave out the group coming in, which is not really, sometimes it's not really good, because this is also a lesson that you can learn. Okay, you can learn from everyone, and you can copy or you can notice. You see some particular word here. Okay, could you please stop sharing with that, and then let's move to the other group, please. Yeah. Okay, please to the other group, group 5. Yeah. Everyone there? Group 5.
My apologies, lecturer. Suddenly shut off by my laptop. Sorry for that.
Yeah. It's okay. It's fine. Okay. Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
The problem is it's really hard to crawl to see one of you. Yeah, at the back. I really want to see one of you too. But one thing that is good, if we can